I tell you how my now husband proposed in Paris. So you girls are nosy. After my last video talking about how we got married in 4 weeks, if you haven't seen that video, please go do so. It is the video I posted before this one. Got a lot of messages asking for the proposal details. So here I am, I'm gonna give it to you, and let's talk about how this all went down and how I ended up with this stunner of a ring. So let me take it back to the beginning and give you a full story time of how we are even at the point of the proposal. I have to give you the backstory so you understand what's going on. So we started dating in June of 2025, June 28th to be exact. I had started nursing school in April of 2025, and that is the reason I even moved to Florida to begin with, because prior to April of 2025 I was living in Queens, New York, which is my hometown, which is where I was born and raised. I go through my first semester of nursing school. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to find the right words to say this without basically being disrespectful. But it is my story, so I should be able to talk about and say what I want to say, you know? It's not anybody else's story to tell except for my own, because I'm the one that lived it. June 28th specifically, I had gotten kicked out of where I was living at, and I had to come back to New York to bring my puppy that I had with me, Kita, to bring her back to New York while I figured out what I was gonna do. Now, the semester of nursing school had just finished a week prior. I was on break and I had no housing. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Was I gonna go back to nursing school? Was I just totally gonna like give it up? Was I just gonna try to do something else? Yeah, there was like a lot going on during that time. And I was homeless, basically. Like, just as a sidetrack, creators that I really love and love watching their content, that they're super honest and vulnerable, is like Montana and Ryan. They're very vulnerable with their content and open, because everybody goes through things. So I don't want to fabricate anything or not say something because I don't want to offend somebody else, or I don't know. I just have a lot happened. So I get to New York. I drop her off with my mom and my brother, and now I have a decision to make. Am I going to figure out housing and come back to nursing school? Am I just gonna be fully done with nursing school? Am I even coming back to Florida? There was a lot going on, but the one constant that was there was my now husband, but I didn't really know him at that point. We had went on only one date prior, June 28th, which is our date. That was our second date. Now, on our second date, we went ATV riding. Basically, the ATVs broke down and we were stranded, and it took us like 4 hours to get 20 miles out from where the ATVs were back to civilization. And then like my whole life blew up, basically. Okay, so boom. If you get the gist, you get the gist. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. So when I get back to New York, I'm deciding what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna come back to school? Am I going to not go back to school? Am I going back to Florida in general? Am I going to stay in New York? Now I met this really great guy, and now I don't know if I'm going back to Florida, basically. So just keep in mind that I had always in my brain felt like I was going to get proposed to in Paris. It just completely slipped my mind when the whole proposal happened. So while we're in New York City, we're shopping, we're looking for my New Year's Eve dress, because at this point it's like the day after Christmas and we haven't left yet. We left to Paris on the 29th. I want to say the 29th or the 30th. I can't recall directly right now. But we left, we were in New York City for a few days, and we went looking for a New Year's Eve outfit. My mom was asking me what am I going to wear for New Year's Eve, because that's so special, like to be in Paris for New Year's Eve. Mine is my first time in Europe. So I was like, what am I going to wear? We go to Zara. My mom's like, oh, you need a dress. Look how beautiful this dress is. Okay, so I get the go dress. Now it's time for us to go from New York City to Paris. Girl, to Paris. So we go to Paris. It's a 10-hour flight. And oh, excited? Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And maybe I can insert some images, like some videos of us in the plane. I was like geeked out. Like I couldn't believe that I was actually going to Paris. Like my dream city. I couldn't believe that it was like actually happening.
No, for real, you're tripping.
We're staying at this beautiful hotel, and the first night when we're walking around, we're seeing people get engaged, because like as you're by the river, the Eiffel Tower, and then there's like a river right there. You're seeing people get engaged right there because that's where they do like the signs right under the Eiffel Tower. And I'm like, oh, look how cute. And he's just like, oh, I wouldn't even do it here. It's just so cheesy. It's just so cheesy. And there's so many people watching you. That's supposed to be like an intimate moment. I wouldn't do it in Paris. I want to do it in Paris. Him saying that, I'm like, okay, we're not getting married in Paris. This is not happening for like another couple months. Let's just really enjoy this trip, because I also didn't want to feel like, because we saw all the people get engaged, that I had like some type of expectation, which I didn't, and I wasn't even thinking about that. So him saying that really just like made me like, all right, let's enjoy the trip. It's out of the picture. You guys are still too early into the dating, because at this point we're dating 6 months. Like, this is not happening anytime soon. So don't think of anything like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let's really enjoy this trip. It's our first trip out of the country, and let's make the most of the trip. So we're trying all the different food, all the croissants and the hot chocolates and everything. So now we get to the day of. It is December 31st, 2025. We wake up in the morning. We go to the Louvre. The Louvre. We go to the Louvre, and we're having breakfast there. We're just having a grand old time, as we always do together. We're laughing and taking pictures. We went shopping. It was just a beautiful day. After we're done shopping, we go back to the hotel room, because every meal, like every dinner meal, he had pre-planned and made it seem like he had prepaid for them. So I'm just like, okay, we have dinner at this time. He already paid for them, so we can't be late. We have to be on time. Like the dinner from the first 2 nights, it was already prepaid for, pre-planned. He already knew what we were gonna be eating. He planned this with the restaurant. So I was thinking everything was pre-planned, prepaid for, so we can't be late, you know? He tells me I need to be ready by 3 o'clock. I'm like, okay, cool. Because 3 o'clock is when the streets are gonna start shutting down, but he thought we had more time to get to where we were going, because it wasn't time. Like, it was just when they were gonna start shutting the streets down, and not that the streets were fully shut down. We leave the hotel, we catch an Uber, and where we were going was supposed to be maybe a 10-15 minute Uber ride. Not far at all. But because of the street closures and everything shutting down for New Year's Eve, bumper to bumper traffic. And I'm just like, okay, can you call the restaurant? Oh no. I'm like, okay, can you call the restaurant, tell them we're running late? But this is the only time where he was like visibly stressing. I'm like, okay, because this man never stresses. I've known him for 14, 15 months now. He never stresses. I'm like, okay, weird. But again, I wasn't thinking it was going to be a proposal, because 1 or 2 days before he said that he wouldn't propose to in Paris, because it was just too cheesy the way they were doing it down there. So I'm not thinking, oh my gosh, she's stressing because he's about to propose. I was not thinking that at all. Okay, then, now just imagine, I'm in my beautiful gold dress. I have my white fuzzy jacket on, and I'm in my heels. And he's like, would you consider getting out of the Uber right now with me so we can walk to the restaurant? And I'm like, sure, 1 sec. And I changed my shoes. And I put on sneakers, because we had brought a change of clothes for after, because then we were going to go see the fireworks and like see New Year's, you know, New Year's in Paris. So I had sneakers and my sweatpants in his bag. So I take my heels off, put on the sneakers, and we're off. It's about like a 7 minute walk from where we were at. And let me tell you, it is freezing. But he started running. So I'm like, oh, we gotta start running, because we need to make these reservations. I'm over here like, yeah, we're not gonna lose this money. We're not gonna lose the reservation. You already paid for it. We're gonna get our money's worth. So I start running too. We are literally running down the streets of Paris. You would think I was running for a marathon, because now all the streets are shutting down. They have the barricades up, and the only way to get through is by feet. So we are running. My body goes numb. It was so cold that my body literally went numb. We're running. We're still running. We're running through the streets of Paris. Running. So I'm thinking it's like a rooftop dinner, because there is no restaurant at the ground level of where we went in. So when we walk into the building, the lady guides us to the elevator. Then this new Chloe girl is unlocked. I'm like, who's Chloe? How do we know Chloe? You know, maybe a little toxic of me, but I'm like, how do we know Chloe? So Chloe comes down. She's like, Mr. Will, and he's like, yes. She's like, okay, come with me. So we get in the elevator with her, and I'm just like, okay, new character unlocked. And she takes us all the way up to the rooftop. No, up to the highest floor that the elevator could go. Then we have to go up one more flight of stairs. Again, I'm thinking we're just gonna walk into a rooftop dinner, not a proposal. So she's like, okay, I'll take your jackets. I'm like, well, because the whole time we've been in Paris, they've been very nice. They've helped with everything. They've taken your jackets, your bags. They've done it all. So she takes it, and then I'm right here. He's right here. Chloe's right here. But there's a door to go to the rooftop, and you see the steps. So I'm like, okay, obviously we're going to the rooftop. And then I just hear the violin go, and I knew the tune and the song of what that tune was. I start crying. I am hysterical. Let me tell you, I am hysterical. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, hold on, let me see if I can play just a little bit of violin so you know what I'm hearing. That's what I heard, and I knew. I could literally have been crying for a rooftop dinner. I don't know, but once I heard that, that's what the sound was before we walked to go to the roof. It was a, I don't think the guy knew, the violin player knew that we were standing right there, because the Chloe girl, once I heard that and I started crying, she was like she knew at that point that I knew what we were doing here. And I literally could have been walking up to a dinner and I was hysterical. I was just hysterical because of the violin sound. And I'm crying. Okay, let me tell you, crying. So we walk up the steps and there is no dinner. There is no dinner. There is just white roses on the rooftop, a heart, white petals going towards the heart, and you see the Eiffel Tower in the distance. And I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, girl, can't believe this is happening. We're about to get proposed to in Paris. Proposed to Paris. I'm sorry. I can't. I literally couldn't control myself. I'm crying. He's trying to hold it together because now he has to talk, you know, to ask me to marry him. And we walk to the roses. The photographer's there. Chloe's there. So now we find out Chloe is the wedding engagement planner. And there was a violin, and he's playing Ordinary by Alex Warren. And we get up there, we walk to the spot of where he's gonna propose. He gets down on one knee and he starts talking. If my life depended on it to tell you verbatim what he said on that rooftop, I don't know. I don't know what he said. It went in, it's just like a blur, like a blank. Like, if I didn't have the pictures to show proof that it actually happened in the ring, I would not remember that it happened, because it was just so like a blur. Like, you just can't believe, like, as a girl, you can't believe that this is happening and you're actually getting proposed to by the dream man of your dreams. And I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't process. He's down on one knee. He's given a beautiful speech. Now, do I know what he said? No. But he did his beautiful speech, and I'm like, oh my God. He opens the box, and it's the ring. It's the ring. And once he said, will you marry me? I jumped on top of him. He was on his knee, and I jumped on top of him because I was just like, no way. Yes?
Look at you. What's going on?
I'm recording the video.
Oh, right in the middle of it? Really?
Yes.
Thanks. So now would be a bad time to ask if you're hungry.
Yes, it's already 5 o'clock. Are we not going to the gym? I'm crying. It's an emotional moment. I'm looking at the Eiffel Tower off in the distance. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this is like real life. He puts the ring on my finger. I'm just still crying. Okay, let me reiterate that I am still crying. And after that beautiful moment, the photographer gives us a few minutes to really enjoy, look at the sunset. And did I mention the sunset? So from his apartment at the time, set on the side of his windows from that apartment. So we would watch the sunset almost every single night. And he proposed on the last sunset of 2025 in Paris, France. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The last sunset in Paris, France. So we're watching this sunset. We're really soaking it in. Now we're taking pictures with the photographer. I'm really trying to gather myself. Thank God I do. Thank God I did my makeup good, because it was just like so, it was just so emotional. We're taking pictures. The photographer is lovely. Boom. The engagement has happened. Now they give us champagne. We go downstairs, and you want to know what's waiting downstairs? A horse and carriage. He got us a horse and carriage to now drive us around Paris after the proposal. Come on. Come on now. So we're driving through Paris. We're calling our families, telling them he just proposed. Riding through all the big monumental places. Like, we drove past the palace of the king and queen of France. We had to be very quiet because they didn't want too much noise. We were just riding like all the way through Paris. We passed the Louvre. We passed some palaces.
Oh!
Nice.
Look at
Palaces, it was just so much that we drove by. So it took us from the rooftop all the way around and dropped us in front of the Eiffel Tower. And that was just so magical, because I had been dreaming about coming to the Eiffel Tower my whole adult life. And then it happened. And I got proposed to there. And that night is obviously New Year's. We get out of the horse and carriage. I, right there in the street, real quick, changed, put my sweatpants, sweater, because it was cold. He changes. We have our hand warmers. Took an Uber to where we were going to have dinner at. And they were trying to serve duck. If you're from France, I don't know. But duck isn't my forte. So we go and have dinner. And then we get on bikes. Babe, I'm struggling here. And we're riding through Paris on these scooter bikes, like the electric bikes, to where we're going to find a spot so we can watch the fireworks go off on top of the Arc de Triomphe.
no way.
You know, like the fireworks go off there. So now we gotta go find a spot. And it was just such a magical experience, like riding the bikes through Paris, freshly engaged. I'm gonna have to do the story time with him one day. We'll see when he has time. But it was just such a beautiful moment, such a beautiful evening, such a beautiful day. And I just loved it. I had no idea, and I didn't really think about it. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, is he gonna propose now? Is he gonna propose now? Is he gonna propose now? It was nothing like that. It was just a true surprise. No one in our lives, like not our family, not our friends, no one spoiled it. I had no inkling. It was a true surprise proposal. And I just don't think it could have gotten any better. He did everything perfection to a T. Like, what can I say? He did a great job. Great job, babe. Yeah, that is our Paris proposal engagement story, how it went down. Not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. And yeah, that is our proposal story in Paris, France. This is the ring, and I think she is so beautiful, perfection. I wouldn't have picked another ring. This was perfect. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, and I will be back with another video very soon. Thank you so much for watching.